Good morning from Skagway. We have arrived. We have left the comfort of our cabin to the beautiful mountains of Skagway.
The first beautiful day we've had.
Yeah.
It's not even 100% beautiful.
It's still cloudy.
We can see mountains.
We can actually see the mountains and the sky.
And a pretty beach.
Yeah. Okay. Goodbye. Part one.
Well done.
Last bathroom.
So I'm already happy because you all seem to actually care about each other, and that is already making me happy. Great, so the next step is to let you know where you are. That's a new one. I've never said that before. It was a spontaneous composition. I'll have to remember that one for later. This is what I do. I love it. This is not where I started, though. I started... I was born in Cheyenne, Wyoming in 1976. My father was a JCPenney salesman, and my mother was a stay-at-home mom for a long time. She eventually became a teacher. She taught in a special education room for many, many, many years. I followed in her footsteps and became a teacher, great-great-great-grandmother or something, and they just do a lot of fishing, and they own a sailboat. Something like that. There's a second tier of people who own property here. They live here year-round, and they're never gonna move. But they weren't born here, so they're not OG Skagway locals. Most of them are on the run from a serious childhood trauma. Say their parents indoctrinated them into the Hare Krishnas in Florida, in the late 80s, and they're just not down to be a Hare Krishna. Or, right, there's actually a lot of people from Utah here who are on the run from really weird Mormon cults, the Sarah. If you're into kind of Buddhist religion, we did this we held hands in a circle and we owned, and we ate snacks around this beautiful high alpine lake, and then on the way back there was a gigantic brown bear just hanging out on the side of the trail eating blueberries. And of course we're all responsible, so we had Klondike. Stands as one of the second largest gold finds in human history. So here's kind of what happened. I'll jump you, that's our broad overview. I'll jump you into some of the really interesting specifics of the story. Before the gold rush, in 1867, Seward, somebody knocks on your door, you open the door, it's two guys in full Navy regalia holding AR-15s, and you're like, oh shit, they're not trying to sell me soap, something's up. And this fella in full Navy regalia holding an AR-15 says, oh hi there, I just purchased your home from some shady looking Russians down the street. So I'm gonna need you to, you're gonna evacuate tonight. You're gonna be living in the Motel 6 down the road. And by Motel is John J. Healy. John J. Healy was a terrible, terrible, famous Chilkoot Tlingit packer, a man named Skookum Jim. There's a picture of Skookum Jim here. Is this tall, handsome, brown man, 6'2", well-dressed, beautiful mustache, right? He could speak 5 different languages. He's the Paul Bunyan of the gold rush. This dude had been packing up and down the Chilkoot Trail since he was 15 years old, every single day of every single summer. Not the Rock ripped, he's farm boy ripped, right? Nepalese Sherpa ripped. But John J. Healy paid Skookum Jim to guide him American dream, the idea that you can get rich quick Pay off your student loans before you die. Pay off your 30-year mortgage. Maybe like buy a condo like in the Caribbean islands or something, right? Make sure that your kids get through college too. Like that gleam of hope turned into this like hollow, vacant 1,000-yard. Hell no, there was no gold here. The answer is no. Well, this is a great place.
I did not pack my rain jacket.
Yes.
Look at that snow on the mountain.
Yeah, Jim Thunder's Call of the Wild. Absolutely. Skagway and the White Pass and the Tormented Valley are all the setting of Geographic. Right there?
Well,
That's
we are
the
at the
first
White
snow
Pass.
involved.
it's back there behind our heads.
I wasn't
Yep.
there yesterday. Oh,
We did it.
what a
We
trip.
passed.
Yep.
We found no gold.
No gold.
But he's saying it's the first snow of the year. It would be nice if it would just do it right now. Right on our face.
I've never been put onto a ship, onto a bumpy ship that crosses the ocean, and then put into like hard manual labor, dragging goods up to the top of a really steep, rough, rocky pass. That's the White Pass. And then the dog escapes into the wild. He escapes here in the Tormented Valley. Does anyone need to use the restroom? No? Those are the tormented toilets. That's why I was urging you all to use the restroom back in town. We can use them? No?
No.
Usually
See
like
it
to
much
find
better with
a
my
small
eyes. I'm
adventure
sorry,
in the
guys.
Tormented Valley. It's rainy, so I want to make sure that I get your consent for what I like to think of as an adventure stop. Would you like to take an adventure stop in the Tormented Valley, even if it means we get rain?
Yes.
There are all these beautiful little pools dotting the rocks. The pools are all either rainfall or snowmelt. There's still snowmelt here from the winter because there's no aquifer here. Right? Like millennia of compression from multiple glaciers has compacted the bedrock to the point where the water has nowhere to go. There's no aquifer. And these trees, some of these trees, these little subalpine firs, it almost looks like a bonsai garden, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Some of these trees are easily 200 or 300 years old, right? They're not brand new. So there's no topsoil here. So the root beds of these trees is incredibly shallow. And then you can see, even in the rain and the mist, right, up this valley that we're approaching, that's what's known as like a cirque, or a glacial cirque, a C-I-R-Q-U-E. That's an amphitheater-shaped structure. That's where during the last ice age, snow would have accumulated there. Ooh, we've got a little bit of sun right here. Let's try to capitalize on the sun. first look, kind of like a panoramic like vista of the whole Tormented Valley. So the water that's flowing down from these mountains, right, the rainwater and the snow melt, it runs into 3 different watersheds. On the far, Little Atlin, Taku, Tushai, and Bennett Lake, they all run together to form the Southern Lake System. The Southern Lake System is the headwaters of the Yukon River. Does that connect the dots for you?
A little bit.
So geographically, right, the Yukon River is the highway to the Yukon River, to the Klondike Goldfields, right? And the Bering Straits will run all the way to the Arctic Ocean via the Yukon River. Hopefully that gives you like a deeper sense of connection to the land and to the geography, and also the stories of the gold rush. At an overlook, and I want to give you guys like an option. Do you want, well, maybe I shouldn't. I'm just going to give you the prettiest one. And I'm going to make sure you have to let me take pictures of you here, okay? I can get beautiful pictures even in the rain. This might be some of the most beautiful pictures you get on your entire cruise. 2014, that was the year that I wanted to do the whole Alaska experience. So I rented a cabin in Juneau and stayed the winter. I had like a pot-bellied stove, and I chopped like 3 or 4 cords of wood, and I saw the green flickering aurora, like, I don't know, uncountable.
So many names and so many stuff.
Remembering the blankets. Put a little rain on y'all. There you go.
Okay, there's not like a whole lot of the season left, and I have this really fascinating story that has been my personal deep dive for the summer of 2023, and it's about other kind of ancient history that happens here, and it's most interesting to tell you while we have eyes on the mouth of the Taku watershed and Lake Taku. So directly kind of at 2 o'clock, I'd say, this is the mouth of Lake Taku, Taku Lake. That's where the Taku Tlingits lived. That's the start of the Taku Trail, which is the older trail. Taku Trail is older than the Chilkoot Trail, and it's also older than the Chilkat Trail. It's also the most remote lake. You can only access it via like a chartered helicopter tour or a speedboat. That's the only way you can see it, so I've never seen it. So get this, I told you that the Tlingits might have been here for 14,000 years. How did I know that? Get this. So all the other Tlingits, the Chilkoot Tlingits, the Chilkat Tlingits, the Haida, the Athabascans, the Klukwans, the Trondek, all the other First Nations clans who are considered to be under the Tlingit moiety, right? They all have like a patrilineal lineage that goes back to the Taku Tlingits. So this is what you're looking at. The story that I'm about to tell you is essentially, it's possible that you're looking at an actual Garden of Eden. That Lake Taku is a real Garden of Eden. So the rest of the Tlingits' origin story has something to do with a raven. A raven makes the land and the water, and then lands on the beach, and man is born from a beach pea, and the raven shows man which plants and animals he can eat, right? It's an instructive story to tell children like what plants and animals that they can eat. Except the Taku Tlingits. The Taku Tlingits origin story is the story of people who walked underneath a glacier from the far north to find Lake Taku, and then give birth to all the other Tlingit tribes, which sounds like a fanciful legend, right? The people who were born from a glacier. But there is an archaeological precedence for their story. Get this. There was a Canadian archaeologist, his name was Jacques Saint Mars. Jacques Saint Mars. Take a hard look at Taku right here, out the right window. So Jacques Saint Mars, in the late 1970s, found a series of caves that he named Bluefish Caves. Bluefish Caves are located near Old Crow in the Gwich'in territories, north of the Tombstone territories in the Yukon. Like maybe 900 to 1,200 miles north of here in the Yukon territory, in a place where there are no roads. Inside of these caves, Jacques Saint Mars found the bones of these land before time mammals. He found the bones of saber-toothed tigers, woolly mammoths, horses that were nearly as tall as giraffes, right? And beavers that were larger than modern grizzly bears, so grizzly beavers. He not only found the bones of these animals, he also found evidence of stone adze or stone tool usage, right? So evidence that humans, modern Homo sapiens, had been hunting grizzly beavers in the Yukon territory, killing them and then butchering them and leaving their bones in these caves, Bluefish Caves. And he hypothesized that the only way there could have been these bones were if they were before the last glacial age, earlier than 14,000 years ago. So he did what every good academic does when they find something mind-meltingly fascinating, right? He published a paper. And then in the early 1980s, he went conference to conference and presented his papers to his peers. But his peers rejected his findings over and over and over again. They rejected Jacques Saint Mars's findings because the predominant theory in archaeology was that of the Clovis people and the Clovis arrowheads. There is a profusion of Clovis arrowheads found all over North America that could be safely carbon dated to 3,000 years ago. So they wanted nothing to do with the idea that there had been modern Homo sapiens hunting beaver bears in the far north of the Yukon territory 14,000 years ago, because that kind of evidence invalidated their entire careers. So Jacques Saint Mars had an unsuccessful academic career until 2017. In 2017, a modern Canadian archaeologist went back to Bluefish Caves and took thousands and thousands and thousands of samples, brought all of those samples back to a lab, and carbon dated them over and over and over again to 14,000 years ago. So what that means is that there is a possibility that the Taku Tlingits migrated over the Beringian land bridge from Russia 14,000 years ago and then hunted grizzly bears and saber-toothed tigers and woolly mammoths 14,000 years ago in the far north of the Yukon territory, and then migrated here along the Yukon River to Lake Taku. It's mind-blowing. It's one of the most interesting things that I've found out in my research about.
All right, we have made it to the suspension bridge, kind of. Our tour guide is very informative. I think we've got to go down. And has taught us a lot on this adventure. All right, it's just 4 steps, Mimi. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have to trust humans. Everybody's doing it. I'm so proud of everybody. Oh God, it's swinging. Okay. I just want to get to the middle. Okay, we did it. Oh, it's so pretty. We did it. So far, we're the only ones on the bus to do it. It's so pretty though. Y'all are all missing out. Look at the water. It's rushing. The water is rushing. We would die. Did you just take a selfie? Yes. Get it, I want it. Mimi is so brave. Go, Mimi, go. Go, Mimi, go. We made it to the middle. Right. Go, Mimi, go. Go, Mimi, go. Go, Mimi, go. She did it! Woo! Mimi! And she comes back.
He was the one who, John J. Healy, kind of the villain of the gold rush, paid Skookum Jim to guide him like up the White Pass. As it turns out, like Skookum Jim and his family were the people who discovered gold in the Klondike. Do you want to hear more about that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's my most well-researched story. This is the Klondike Highway. We're in the boreal forest now, so this is a different forest, the northern forest. This forest this is the big one, right? This is the one that stretches over like most of Canada and almost all of Alaska. It generates, I've heard, somewhere between like 15 and 20% of the Earth's like oxygen. Almost as much as the Brazilian rainforest. So this is some of the cleanest air you're probably going to breathe. So a little place there. So Skookum Jim and his family were the people who were responsible for kicking off the gold rush. But the mountain that we saw snow on and I said like, oh look, that's the first snow of the year. That's called Carmack Mountain. That's named after George Carmack. George Carmack was the fella who's largely credited with discovering gold in the Klondike gold fields. And then his Skookum Jim's family didn't get as much credit as George Carmack. And there's this really interesting backstory as to like why and how the whole thing like unfolded. So George Carmack was John J. Healy's boatswain. Remember, John J. Healy is our villain. So boatswain just means that George Carmack cleaned John J. Healy's boats in Dyea before the gold rush. He was a drifter,
Oh, he's an
and he was a
eagle.
poet, and he did not have much ambition at
I think
all.
it's an eagle.
No way.
I think.
George
He
Carmack
was like on the other side of the tree.
married, and there's like, I should give you some context as well. There are probably over 150 books written about George Carmack, and there's only a small handful that are written about Skookum Jim and his family. So, George Carmack married Skookum Jim's younger sister, I think almost 12 or 13 years before the gold rush. And it was a traditional Tlingit wedding. And on their honeymoon, George Carmack insisted on going into a part of this gigantic Shah Tala, Skookum Jim's older sister, saved George Carmack from certain death after George Carmack lost her younger sister in the Yukon Territory on their honeymoon. And that fall, while he was on his honeymoon, she'd been working the entire summer to make caches of food along the Taku Trail, the Chilkoot Trail, and the Chilkat Trail. So over that winter, the one winter, Shah Tala nursed George Carmack like back to health. And then, because the Tlingit community, then what happened is, if you're reading the books about George Carmack that are written by white men who were uplifting the acts of other white men, especially white men who got rich, right? Because that's what capitalism is all about. If you're reading those books, the ones written by white men, they cast Shah Tala in a really harsh, disparaging light. Over and over and over again, Shah Tala is described. Tlingit's wife, Shah Tala, Skookum Jim's older sister, found gold in the Klondike. That small family, right? Because Shah Tala was a woman, and they're two. And in the spring of 1898, they took the gold back to Seattle. And get this, it's the Tlingit family, Shah Tala and Skookum Jim and Tagish Charlie, who set off the gold rush. So that very first day in Seattle, and you work for me, you all work for me. Of course, word spread throughout Seattle that there was a Tlingit family who was rich enough to buy.
Welcome to the Yukon, home cheese. We did it. We've made it to the Yukon. It's a very exciting day.
We're in Canada.
Well, we've been in Canada for a long time.
Well, yes. But did we tell them we're in Canada?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they've been listening to stories.
Okay.
And getting, I hope, good video. I hope. I
Show them the sign.
I did already. That's the first thing they saw,
Oh, okay.
I think. We'll do it again once our new friends leave.
I was at the back of the bus. I didn't know this.
Oh yeah, we got separated. Sad times for Crystal. Is she leaving? Is she part of our group? She gone.
She got
She gone. She gone. We're back in Alaska, people. We've done it. Hi. We get a bus puppy. He's just watching his surroundings. He's a bus puppy, bus puppy. Very cute bus puppy. Yes, you are a very soft bus puppy. It's our only nature of the day. You win. You win the award of the only nature of the day. Time for a doughboy. I don't know. Do you get different toppings? Are we sharing one or getting our own? I'm fine either way. But I think they're big enough to share one. Okay, we came all the way back into Skagway for a doughboy. Thanks to Para DJ, we had to try them. Are they good, Crystal?
We almost lost it.
The wind is nuts, y'all. Nuts, I tell you. Is it good though?
This thing is so good.
Okay, we're gonna put you down so we can eat it. We'll see y'all later.
Better than any elephant ear I've ever had in my life.
I haven't tried it yet. Goodbye. I now have a flock. I fed one. Now I am the bird whisperer. Oh, that one's hurt. Oh. Come here, I'll feed you extra. Come close, okay? Wow, you're stingy.
We're one way out the little front.
That's right, Mr. Limpy. Oh shit. Now there's another one. I don't have any more. It's all gone. You're also smarter than you look. I know. Goodbye, Skagway. Unreal. It's getting time to leave. No, I don't. Dum-dum. Crystal?
Yes.
Did you enjoy your day in Skagway?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You said that kind of like meh.
Yeah, it's okay.
It was okay?
Yeah, I wish we would have gotten to do all our stops on our tour.
I think we had to do 90% of them.
He said it was 12 or 15 we were supposed to do.
I know. I don't remember 12 or 15 being in the description. I know we didn't go to Bridalveil Falls. Or like didn't stop at it. But I think he took us to a few different other spots that were maybe better. Like the beach. I don't think the beach is on the stop.
The weather is kicking our butt this trip.
Yeah.
It's definitely putting a damper on it.
I don't know. Yeah, it hasn't been awful. The wind today was the problem. That's what he was concerned with, was the wind.
Yes.
And we even got back I think it was like 5 minutes late. So I think he was right about the wind problem. And I think he took us to some spots that maybe were just a little cooler. He seemed to kind of just go at his own vibe.
And we got our fry bread.
We did. We got to Doughboy. It was delicious.
So good.
It was worth the trip back to town. Yeah, we got to see two puppies.
Two puppies. One that looks just like mine in a little sling thingy. Oh my god, she was so cute.
She was cute.
And then a little chihuahua.
A chihuahua.
He was sitting in the carrier. I'm sure you guys have already seen that.
Yes, I took video.
He was so cute. I got to ride with him on the way back.
I was nice. I could have stolen it, but I didn't.
He snuggled right up to me under my arm.
He was a very sweet puppy. And he gets to go out again tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, here come the longshoremen? Is that what they're called?
I'm not sure.
We don't know. Here come the people who take the ropes off. I'm pretty sure they're called shoremen or longshoremen or shore people. We have really moved from the dock. Those are what was making sure we did not crash. That one over there doesn't look like it's doing well. It's half in the water. We're saying goodbye to Skagway. The minivan guy just finally left and he is taking forever. Someone over there drives a Renegade and I feel sorry for them. I'm not joking, y'all, when I say the wind is cray cray tonight, today, whatever. Has not slowed down at all. Clouds look like they're rolling in, even though you can clearly see sun. The clouds are rolling in too. It's not, because this is our second to last. Oh, with a shuttle coming in and a taxi. Are we gonna actually get to see pier runners? Well, the taxi stopped up there, so either it's like, well, I'm already late. That was, but he didn't get the guy. The guy's in the shuttle thing. That was the, oh, there's another van. Oh, it's the guy coming back. That man really forgot something. Somebody's name. But I'm pretty sure that's the port worker guy. It seems weird though that the bus came right back through. And that taxi, but the taxi turned around too. Oh, Skagway, it was fun. It was real. We had a good time. Even if it is all more cloudy, it must be not. It must be kind of shallow. We're stirring up that much sand. Here comes another car. I'm very confused. I'm very concerned about that guy.
you you're wrong. Looks to me like it's like maybe like 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock maybe.
It's about 5.
It's
Even though I think we're supposed to have an earlier sunset tonight. Alright, well, we've officially departed. We are gone. Goodbye, Skagway. Alright, we're having some dinner at Azora. Here's the menu. Classics. Have those every night. Yum. I got the lime and dill shrimp and potatoes, and Mimi and Crystal both got the broccoli soup. Disgusting. Disgusting. Alright, we got a little country fried chicken, some gnocchi, and some bacon wrapped shrimp, Cajun shrimp, and baked ziti for Crystal. Yum yum, yum yum.